Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to get out of a bad state. I mean, I see it all the time. People take a load, they'll go into a place where they're not supposed to be. The brokers are good at luring people in. They'll dangle $2 in front of you just to get you to get to a state. And then you're stuck, you're stuck. Florida is one of those bad states. And Texas is a bad state too for box trucks. You get in there, they'll give you $3 to come in, and then you're stuck. You can't get out without taking a bad load. So, but there's worse states than Texas, and there's worse than Florida. So this is the market conditions in that power. This tells you what states where loads are at right now for the past 30 days. Dark red is the hottest, with blue being the coldest. Less loads. And the thing is, these are mostly all semi trucks loads. So if it's cold for semi trucks, it's even worse for box trucks because there's more semis than there are box trucks. So let's see where we can go. I mean, this is the worst place you can go, right here in the mid northeast or in the west. I've been to Idaho one time driving for a guy a while back, and I was so mad. I cussed him out all the way home to Ohio. I'm from Ohio. And that was the last time I drove for him, man. But man, I was so mad. I don't know why he sent me there, but it's pretty bad. But there's worse. There's worse. So we're probably gonna go with Wyoming. It's the coldest. It's in the Midwest. I've driven through there before. It's nothing but mountains, and these mountains are like 10,000 feet high. There's nothing but snow, ice. You're driving in the clouds. Some of the mountains have no guardrails. It's just a horrible spot. So we're gonna go with Wyoming. There was a guy there, I think the other day, told me he was stuck there. And I was like, man, how the hell you get stuck there? That's like a cow, getting stuck in an elevator. Like, how the hell you get there? But I guess they lured them in. To go into these states, you can't take nothing less than 450, $5 or $6. Okay. If you're here, in Wisconsin, drive 1,000 miles, you can take $4 a mile maybe. But if you're coming over here where the rest of us are at, you can't take nothing less than 5 or 6 thousand going into Wyoming because you're not going to get nothing coming out of there. And as you can see, the rest of the states that is surrounded are garbage too. So the plan here is to find somewhere where we can get a load. Okay, Kansas, that can turn blue in any time. So you can try to go to Kansas. There's no guarantee you're going to get anything good there. I mean, that would be one plan. Make it to Illinois. Illinois, there's you're gonna find a load in Illinois. But my plan would be to get into California. California has plenty of loads. From California, you can get a load almost anywhere. They have the ports there. They're backed up for months. So if I was stuck in Wyoming, I would try to make it to California. That would be my best bet. So we're gonna go with Wyoming. Jeez. And listen, man, whatever you do, don't go to Wyoming. Unless you're getting 5 or 6 grand, stay the hell out of Wyoming, man. All right, so let me see. Alexa, what's the capital of Wyoming?
Wyoming's capital is Cheyenne.
Cheyenne, look at that. Indian Territory. Cheyenne, Wyoming. Okay, so here, what I usually do, I put van, which could be a trailer, straight truck. That's and what else? Moving van. That's not a U-Haul. Van logistics. Van blanket wrap. You always carry blankets. Van lift gate. What am I missing? and air ride. So these are the 7 that I use. We're stuck in Cheyenne, Wyoming with the buffaloes. The deadhead, you're going to have to deadhead at least 300 or something because you're probably not going to find anything. This is for the ninth. I usually put full and partial. I put both. 26 foot, 1 pound under 10,000. Look back 24 hours. So let's see what we have here. And as you can see, we've put this by the rate. We have absolutely nothing here. There's a 350 from Denver to Denver. Denver's another bad place. Don't go in there unless you get a lot of money. Then you have Colorado going to another bad place, Florida. So I won't even bother calling them, and it's TQL, notorious for low rates. So let's see where we can go. We might have to drive to Utah. Remember, we want to try to get into California if we can. So this is going to Jersey, Georgia, 3,500 getting into Georgia. This might be a way out. Murray, Utah, going into Georgia. It might be a way out. It's 2,000 miles, 3,500. I'd call them up, ask for 4,500, maybe settle at 41, 42 to get out of there. But if you're like desperate because you're not going to find nothing in Wyoming, you can definitely, work something out here to get out of there, because the base rate is 3,500 to go to Georgia. Not that Georgia is anywhere where you're going to get a big load either. That has its own set of problems. But to get out of Wyoming, which is the worst place you can be. I mean, Wyoming is, if we took a vote, it would probably be the worst state to be in. And I know people that got stuck there before because I see them on the boards. So that might be one out. Minnesota, 2,400. Minnesota might be another out. This is 1,300 miles, 3,000 miles. But you got to drive to Utah. Remember, that's 442 miles of deadhead coming out of Wyoming. So you're going to have to definitely negotiate this up. Try to get like $3,000 for this, but it's another out. I mean, remember, you're in a desert. You're in Wyoming. You got yourself stuck there. You fell for the trap. The broker dangled a piece of cheese in front of you, and you went for it, and then you got stuck in the trap. So, if you really needed desperate to get out, you could probably take this. This is 2,400, 13 for about 1,800 miles. I mean, you're gonna lose money. I mean, it's not, but it's a way out. But like I said, we're gonna try to get to California. That's what we want to do. And here's one from California, from Nibley, Utah. Basilia, California. 1,700, 850 miles plus 3. So let's say that's 11. It's about 1,200 miles for $1,700. Now, the good thing is this is going into California. Let me show you the map. Anything over here in the West Coast, these are all mountains. These are all mountains. They're terrible to drive through because mountains, they slow you down. You'll be lucky to do 40, the average 45 miles an hour, and they burn a lot of gas. They burn a ton of gas. So I remember one time I was in California, I was burning $50 worth of gas per hour, and I was probably averaging like 42, 45 miles an hour on the mountains. So to drive 200 miles was costing us it was over $200. So it's expensive. So you have some negotiating power. When you see this stuff here, these mountains, they're terrible for your driver, but you have to negotiate, and you have a little bit of power there. So I would negotiate this. This is $850 for $1,700. This, I would ask for $2,500 for this from Nibley, Utah. $2,500. They might not give it to you, and if they know you're coming from Wyoming, they're definitely not going to give it to you. So don't tell them where you're coming from. Say, hey, I can pick this up tomorrow, and don't tell them you're coming from it, and then they'll probably lower it on you and teach you a lesson for going into Wyoming. But you can take this to Visalia, California. We're coming from Cheyenne, Wyoming. Okay, so that's a 1,200-mile trip. Oh, Cheyenne's right in the corner, so we lucked out when I picked Cheyenne. Most people get stuck right here in the middle, so it would be shorter. I don't know no state, no city inside Wyoming, so we're gonna go in the middle. I see Casper here. Lost cabin. Like, who lost their cabin out there? Yeah, there's not many cities out here, so I guess we're gonna have to stick with Cheyenne, or we'll go with Casper. Let's do this right. Close to the middle of Wyoming as we're gonna get. And as you can see, there's nothing there. Absolutely nothing there. Usually when people get stuck in Wyoming, they're up here by Idaho, but I don't see any major cities there. So we'll go with Casper. There's nothing there. Utah, this would be your best bet. That's less deadhead. So that's what we do. There's one for Fresno, California. This is 9,000 pounds, so you can't partial it. $1,300. You can work that up to $2,000 easy. Coming from Nibley, Utah. So let's add that to the destination. Nibley. Who comes up with these names? So you're coming from Wyoming. Destination is Visalia. Going to Utah. So the total mileage is 1,200. It's 1,300 miles. Oh, we're not coming from Cheyenne. We're coming from Casper, Wyoming. So let's do this the right way. All right, so it's 1,250 miles coming from Wyoming. We're gonna have to make a stop at Nibley. See if we can find something else going to California, Visalia. So there's that. We don't have much options. So, you got yourself into trouble by going to Wyoming. You shouldn't be going to Wyoming, but now you're going to have to bite one of these bad loads. And the best one you can do is go to Visalia, California. It's $1,700. You can work that to $2,500 because it's going to California and you'll probably get it. At least $2,400, you'll probably get it. I mean, and you just drive into California. And once you get to California, what is it, Visalia? We'll change this up. Once you get to California, you can get a load anywhere in the country. And there it goes. California. Loads everywhere. 4,000, 3,500, 7,100, 5,000, 5,000, 4,900. Plenty of loads coming out of California. And these are the ones that are listed. Just because they don't have a price doesn't mean you can't call them. It's always good to call them. That's how you meet good brokers. But the ones that are listed, there's plenty of loads coming out of California. And this is by Visalia, the one we found. So if you ever get stuck in any of these bad states, work your ass to California. If you can get to California, you can get a load anywhere. But don't stick around, man. Don't waste time, waste days. Every day you spend waiting for a load to pop up inside Wyoming, it's a day you miss. Every day you miss at least $1,000. So if you get stuck in these bad states, first of all, don't even get stuck there. Make sure you get $5 or $6 grand to go to any of these states out here. If you get anything less than that, then you probably deserve to get stuck. But if you do, work your ass to California, and from California, you can go anywhere in the country. So I'm gonna let it go right there.